Hello humans of the world, I'm Dawn of the World, welcome aboard. You might notice my space here is looking a little bit sadder and more One Piece deprived than normal. The One Piece things are still in existence, they're in fact still in my room, but they've been moved to a separate location that you might learn about soon. You are here today, however, to hear my thoughts on the latest chapter, so let's dive into that. So at the start of this chapter, I could not believe that the chapter entitled Law and Kid vs Big Mom was a whole 2 chapters ago because she still has not bitten the dust as of yet. These Yonko really are made of something else and she is standing her ground. Also, I didn't realize until this chapter that Kid's attack name is actually Damned Punk. I like to think that this attack was named not by Kid or his crew, but by enemies whom Kid has defeated in the past. And they would often cry out, "Damn Punk!" as they were defeated by this new rookie who just seemingly appeared out of nowhere. And then Kid was like, you know what? I'm stealing that. Yoink. With that in mind, what a fitting attack to ultimately help tear down this figurehead, this empire that was so quintessential of an era, this matriarch that had co-ruled over and terrorized the ocean for decades, finally toppled by a pair of damn punks, or damn brats as she calls them. She is pissed. If she survived and she's going to be relevant to the story again, she's gonna be real pissed. She was already pissed at the start of the chapter where she was apparently bluffing her state of being, but Kid and Law were able to see, or rather feel, through the guise. Even so, the amount of raw power and energy she was emitting through her defeat was incredible. So after we have it confirmed she is on her last legs, Law seals her away in a sphere of shame inspired by Corazon, which is a very nice touch. And in the sphere of shame, nobody can hear you scream. So Big Mom's main homies, her crew, or anybody on Onigashima, they don't really notice this occur. Kid lets loose another damn punk, and there is so much crazy power in this thing. This literally tears the Mother's Misery manifestation in two and sends Big Mom silently on her way into the crater that Law created in the last chapter. This is actually happening. This is crazy. We've actually had a Yonko be defeated. As soon as I saw the double page spread of her monologuing as she plummeted to the Wano mainland below, that was it. We're here, folks. And of course, this being the monologue of a falling Yonko, she says some incredibly interesting things. Like, it's so interesting and memeable that during this moment of defeat, she chooses to address Roger, the source of all of the madness of the last couple of decades. Like, it's as though she is inadvertently blaming Roger for her defeat right now. As if it weren't for him triggering the Great Age of Pirates, these rookies never would have risen up and surpassed her. And now I have to wonder, what was her relationship to Roger? He was older than her, but they would have still been in the same generation. I guess they were enemies because of the God Valley incident, but that was more about Roger and Garp against Rox, and Big Mom being a part of Rox's crew was on Rox's side, as the same with Whitebeard. I'm sure we'll receive a more nuanced understanding of all of that one day when the time for that flashback finally comes, because Roger did kind of end up being on friendly terms with Whitebeard, so I wonder if he and Big Mom were ever on somewhat amicable terms. There would have at least been some kind of mutual respect, which explains why Big Mom seems to feel almost personally offended by Roger's choice to leave Big Mom and the other emperors to deal with the fallout of his actions without even telling them about the One Piece, with the exception, of course, of his old pal Whitebeard. Furthermore, Big Mom internally contemplating what and where the One Piece is as she falls, as well as whether or not Wano holds some of the answers, is a massive indicator that it does hold some of the answers. And I am willing to bet that we are going to get some pretty huge reveals when the post-Wano arc finally rolls around. Big Mom then turning the direction of her words back to Law and Kid and saying, "You better not think this is enough to defeat me," pretty much confirms for me that she probably isn't dead, though her expression here is looking like she's going, oh and at the very least, she's definitely out of commission for the rest of the raid. She goes out with a bang, but not a loud one. In fact, a very, very quiet, though colossal one. Quite a spectacle to see an explosion as large as this make no sound. If just one of the bombs made an explosion of this size, just imagine how big the entire thing And it's nice to think that, in a way, Corazon helped Law take down one of the Yonko. As immensely impressive an achievement as this was, we need to keep in mind that it took the entire efforts of both Kid and Law to do this, and now the two of them are totally wiped. Neither of them could have taken her alone. So as individuals, I wouldn't say that they're on the level of Big Mom just yet. Working together to bring her down, however, is a massive step towards getting to that level and even exceeding that. With that in mind, I'm really now wondering about the outcome of Luffy and Kaido's fight. Kaido, most powerful creature in the world as he's said to be, would by and large be even more powerful than Big Mom. While I could argue that Luffy is likely individually more powerful than Law and Kid, I wouldn't exactly bet on him being more powerful than the two of them combined, who have now only just managed to defeat Big Mom, who is not as powerful as Kaido. I'm really not one to power scale, but this has really gotten me thinking. I guess it's something to do with Advanced Conqueror's Haki and the expectation that Luffy is going to grow even stronger still throughout this battle, as he did versus Katakuri and as he has through this battle so far. Don't forget, Oda has said to keep watching Luffy. As for Kaido, I wonder how he'll react to Big Mom's defeat. I can imagine chapter 1041 opening on him and Luffy and the moment he realizes what has happened and how this might affect his fight with Luffy. Anyway, there are definitely a few other details that I would love to highlight during this glorious chapter, which I would dare say is the biggest chapter of 2022 yet. I would like to say, what the hell is this Kazenbo thing? Why is it big here and then it looks small here? Why is it saying Orochi's name? Have I missed something? Is there an answer to this yet? If so, can someone please fill me in? Now, because of the explosion, because Big Mom just had to get her last word in one way or another, even if nobody could hear her, the people on Onigashima are just like, woo, flying through the air like Hatsuka graduation. Robin and Brook are seen running around, Grim Reaper get up and Bloody Zoro absent, meaning that this wasn't Brook after all. And thank God, honestly, it's a lot more intriguing this way. It means that there are other skeletons running amok in this world of pirates, and I love that. This is either a hallucination or some fever dream, the manifestation of Enma, or death themselves. I already went into the details of this in another video, so if you'd like to be privy to that, here it is. It's about halfway through. As for the man of the hour, he is, classic Zoro, getting lost even when he's out cold. For real, I hope that Frankie finds him, fishes him out of a crevasse or whatever, like a claw in a UFO machine. No wait, is he actually falling off Onigashima here? It kind of looks like it. Is that him? Zoro, no! Someone get this man a band-aid, please. It looks as though he's been slashed by the Grim Reaper, doesn't he? I want to reiterate that I do love Zoro. This is just, it's too memeable. It also makes me wonder, I saw a theory bouncing around that Zoro could be a bit out of commission during the next arc, and it's seeming a bit more like it could happen. Also, props to Hiyori. The whole island's practically being turned on its side, and she's just sat here strumming away at the shamisen. She's been incredibly calm during this entire encounter with Orochi, dangerously so, and I can't wait to see her make him less alive. And then what is this? Was this the end of Raizo versus Fukurokuju? It feels a bit anticlimactic given how long they've been going, and they haven't had an official panel proclaiming the victor, so I feel like they're not quite finished. Having witnessed Big Mom's silent descent and having been able to protect all but one of the bombs from her vengeful wrath, Yamato now has a rather convenient window right through to Momonosuke. This is actually real convenient because now they can have a chat and communicate. And what we and Yamato find out from Momo is when what is obviously Zunisha called to him last chapter, Zunisha revealed themselves to be Joy Boy's companion, as in like Joy Boy's nakama. This opens up some absolutely huge avenues for discussion. Why is Zunisha revealing this to Momonosuke now of all times? Why is this relevant now? What does this say about Joy Boy? Does this confirm he could have been a giant? Perhaps even a continent-pulling ancient giant? Ancient giants, after all, had horns much like the Oni race, like Onigashima? What if Onigashima's skull dome is Joy Boy? I've said a few times now that what if the skull dome was that of an ancient giant? And when Zunisha showed up, I even said, what if they knew each other? Because all old people know each other. And only now have I connected the dots. I need to sit back and think about this for a bit. But I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing how this goes and where this goes. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm Dawn of the World, and I will see you next time. Later, guys.